Hi, everyone. Welcome to What Makes Us Human podcast, a space where we can talk about our shared experiences that make us all human. Welcome, Yana. Chilling.
You doing? Oh man,
Doing all right. Doing all right.
I'm
Wish it were a
tired,
little
girl.
warmer outside, but other than that, I'm all right.
I know it's all dreary. Well, listen, I'm
Yes.
tired because tis the season.
Tis the season.
Happy holidays, folks. That's what we're here about today. It's the holiday season, and I'm over it. Honestly, I
Already?
yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a little bah humbug myself.
Understood.
I don't really get wrapped up into the holiday season,
Hmm.
but I have two-year-olds, so I have to get
Yes.
myself into the season and get
Yeah.
excited about it just so that they can be excited about it. But it's a lot.
Mhm.
The stores are more crowded, the roads are more crowded, everything's expensive. I'm over it,
Yeah.
honestly.
People are grumpy because they don't have money for Christmas. So
Right.
you know, I mean, hey, it's either the rent at this point or Christmas, right? And
Come
so a
on.
lot of people are feeling it. A lot of people feel. Also, talking about people feeling it, what do you think about the seasons, the holiday season being amongst us, and those individuals who either don't have family and friends to spend it with, so they go into a depressive state, or those individuals that do have family and friends to spend it with. However, those relationships are strained, maybe fragmented, fractured in some way. And now, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year, we're expected to come together those 3 times a year at least and enter into those unhealthy relationships again. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, what we're describing here, what we're talking about is the holiday blues and
Yeah.
navigating, this time of year. For a lot of people, it isn't a celebratory or happy
Yes.
season. A
Yeah.
lot of people are become really stressed during the holidays for many of the reasons that you mentioned. Either they don't have family and connection, or they're not close by their family and connection. They're away from their loved ones and their family, and so they feel lonely at the holidays, or they've
Yes.
lost family members and they're grieving during the season. And then on the whole other spectrum are people who got family and they don't want to go with their family because they're
Yes.
toxic and a mess, and you don't even want to go to Big Mama house. Okay, you don't want to
Hmm.
be there. You want to be far away from your family and their drama as possible,
Yes, far
and you
away as
might feel
possible.
guilty about that because it's the holiday
Yeah.
season, and the expectation around the
It's a
holidays is that you
tradition.
share it with your loved ones.
Yeah.
And I'm always conscious of that in the work that we do
Yeah.
during this season, to connect with my clients and just let them know, hey, I know that it may be hard for you navigating the holiday season. I know that
Exactly.
there may be some things that come up for you going home or having family come to you.
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
don't forget the tools that we've worked on. Don't forget the coping skills and the boundary settings
Yeah.
that we practice during this season to protect your
Exactly.
emotional well-being in this.
Exactly. Being mindful as a therapist, right? And as a human, right? Just on a basic human level, that the holidays aren't always a time to celebrate for everyone, right?
Yeah,
And so when we're having conversations, when we're interacting with people, don't just assume that this is a comfortable season for them, right? If
absolutely.
it's someone that you happen to be close with, ask them, how do you feel about the holidays? Do you need any extra support if you should notice that they might be struggling or vacillating with where they're going to go, or they don't have any place to go? Ask them if they need support, if they would like to maybe join you, or ask them about their feelings around the holidays. Don't just assume that, oh, this is a fun time, because not for
Mhm.
everybody. It's not, doesn't feel that great for everybody.
That's a really good tip, Pia. I try to be more mindful.
Yes.
Life is life and for everybody, so you don't want to assume.
Yes, exactly.
And so I try to intentionally reach out to my loved ones and just like,
Hmm.
hey, I'm staying connected. How are you? How are you feeling? Especially if I know that some of my friends have struggled with loss in this season,
Yeah.
or don't have certain comforts or certain people that they wish they would have had around that they no longer have around. I'm mindful of that, and I do more check-ins than normal. Like, hey girl, hey, you good? How's the family? How's the babies? What are your plans? Even if you just ask, what are your plans
Mm-hmm.
around the holidays, just to get a sense and to stay connected with your loved ones, because the holidays can bring on a lot of difficult emotions for people. One of which, I think it's important to touch on, Pia, is grief. There are
Yes,
a lot of
definitely.
people grieving around the holidays.
Yeah.
And we've collectively gone through some hard years in the past
Yes.
3-4 years. Collectively, as a human race,
Yeah.
we've all been
We've all
challenged
been there. Yeah.
in the past few years with just where the world is and with the pandemic, and right now where the world is with the conflict in different countries and in different areas in the world,
Even
and
in our own neighborhoods.
in our own neighborhoods, correct,
Yeah.
outside our doors, the
Outside our
conflict,
door.
the struggle,
Yeah.
the heightened tension, the heightened fear, the heightened
The
phobias.
violence.
um So there are people who are sitting around now during this holiday season and are grieving a loss, uh, have lost loved ones, have lost jobs, have lost the security of an income, have maybe lost housing. People don't know this, but the holidays are like, um, there's a higher occurrence of like house fires
Yes,
and
definitely.
property damage.
Yeah.
I was watching the news this morning and a tornado hit Tennessee and I think it was Tennessee, and devastated a
Wow.
devastating natural disaster in Tennessee that happened yesterday or the day before. And this is right before the holidays. It's two
Right
weeks
before.
before Christmas.
Right
And
before.
so life doesn't stop happening because it's the holidays. In fact, it might be even harder to navigate because you have the expectation of this being a season of joy and you
Yes.
feel anything but joy.
Yeah.
And so, what do you tell your clients, Pia, during this time if they come to you and they are grieving or they are struggling during the holidays? What are some things that you say to them?
Well, what I do is I try to help them unpack the positive memories, the good memories, creating new traditions around those individuals that they have lost, that they're no longer with, that they might be grieving, whether it be, for some, depending on what you believe in, setting up an altar,
Mhm.
for those who have transitioned in your life. I've had clients where we worked on a scrapbook together,
Mhm.
a picture scrapbook. I've also had clients where they've had writings of their mother because their mother was a poet, and so we put together. I helped them put together a actual book that they put together and they gave to all their loved ones. So doing
Nice.
things like that helps, help keep people in your memory, right? And just knowing that you are finding ways to honor them, right? Thinking about things that you've done in the past with them that felt good, right? Oh,
Mhm.
there's a lot of writing assignments that go along with when I'm working with an individual who is experiencing grief, right? Because we're memorializing things,
Yes.
right? We're bringing things back to life, and so if they are willing, we do a lot of writing assignments. We do a lot of journaling. We do a lot of logging, and it usually helps.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm a creative in my own right, and I'm also a
Yes.
writer. So I love the use of writing and reflecting and putting it on paper
Mhm.
and speaking those thoughts out to your
Yeah.
loved ones. I also believe in honoring those that have passed on from the physical, because I don't believe, I believe spirit endures, meaning I don't believe spirit
Mhm.
dies.
Yes.
And so just like I don't believe love dies, and so you'll forever have the love of your loved ones and their spirit is everlasting. And so I believe in keeping their memory alive, in including them in conversation. Like I say, the dead only die when you stop talking about them. That's my
That's a
personal
good one.
belief.
Yeah.
And so, my father has passed on, and I'm like, my daddy loved eggnog. So I'm going to go buy the eggnog that he loved, and I'm going to make me a little drink And then when I'm sipping my little drink, I'll be like, Daddy, you want some? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that I do. And that's similar to what you mentioned of people creating altars and feeding the ancestors and paying homage to the ancestors in those ways. But anything that keeps their memory alive. If your mom was like a big decorative celebratory person and your mom like loved to deck out the tree and maybe she had her favorite ornament, you might want to put that ornament on the tree each year in honor of your mother's presence
Exactly.
if she's no longer there. Or if your
Exactly.
grandmother baked a certain dish and you were lucky enough to retain the recipe, you might want to bake that dish in honor and to keep you connected to the good, like Pia
Yeah.
said, the good memories, the love that you shared during the season. I don't want to say that it will take away the grief, because grief is real and you
Exactly.
have to process grief. You
And
have
it's
to go
fluid.
through, and grief
Yes.
comes in waves.
It comes in
Some days
waves.
you
It's
wake up
very
and you're
fluid.
fine. And the next day
Exactly.
you wake up and it hits you like a ton of bricks. So I won't say that it'll take away the grief, but it will make you feel connected to the love that you shared with that person
Exactly.
and the
Exactly.
good memories that you shared with that person. And that can ease the pain.
Exactly.
But if you are feeling pain in this season, it's okay to acknowledge that and honor that. It's okay to even say, I'm not feeling festive and I don't want to participate in festives, because what we don't often talk about, Pia, is the pressure of the holidays.
Yes.
And I want
Yes.
to get into this because I'm going to read some people in my life, okay? I'm going to read y'all now. If y'all watch this episode, y'all know who y'all are. I'm talking to y'all. Y'all
Okay.
be pressuring me, okay, to be
Yeah.
all in the holiday spirit. And I do so, again, because I have two wonderful children. And so I do it for their benefit. But baby, if I never put up a Christmas tree, I'd be fine. Because it's just not what I need to do for the
And
season.
have you seen the prices of Christmas trees lately?
It's ridiculous. I mean, I got me a little
It's
bootleg one from like Target, it has the lights built in. My Christmas tree
gotcha.
is not impressive, and I did
Yep.
not even put any decorations on it this year. I told my godchild she can come and do that, because for me, it's not something that I necessarily enjoy. Did I have it
Yes.
growing up? Absolutely. We had the big
Mm.
Christmas trees, and it was always decorated. And my mom
Yeah.
and my family went all out for Christmas, so it is a part of my upbringing. But as an adult, it just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, everybody in my life is like, you better put up a tree for them babies. You better. And they be guilting me into what they
Yes.
want me to do for this season. And I'm like, well, what if I don't want to do that? What if I
Exactly.
want a different tradition for Christmas? What if I want to
Exactly.
travel for Christmas?
Yeah.
What if I want to volunteer on Christmas to those that I feel don't have as much opportunity and access as me? What if I want to give back? What if I want that to be me and my children's Christmas? And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like people pressure you in traditions that they're comfortable
Yes.
with,
Exactly.
because that's what they
Exactly.
always did. We gotta go to grandma's house for Christmas. Why we gotta go?
Yes.
I don't even like grandma like that. Because then you become the black sheep because you
Yes,
don't
you
want to
do.
do what everybody wants to do during the holidays. So how do you uh set healthy expectations and healthy boundaries around the
Yeah.
holidays for yourself when you have overbearing family?
Well, I've learned the art of saying no and disengaging, right? During the holiday season, a lot of times you're pulled in a lot of different directions. And, a lot of times we have family members who we know their dysfunction. We understand their dysfunction, right? Because we've taken a healthier path in life, whereas they haven't, right? And that's the family member's house that you have to go to, or that's the family member that everyone's asking, is so and so going to be there, right? And the answer is always, I don't know, we'll see. But that's also the reason why I don't want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I have honestly had to learn how to say no, or how to say, okay, I know this individual isn't going to get there early. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get there early, say my goodbyes, give myself a time limit. If my
Mm-hmm.
time limit is 3 hours, if I say I'm out by 2, then at 1:45, I'm saying my goodbyes. So 2 o'clock, I can be opening up the front door, right? Setting your boundaries before you go into that environment. having a list of your do's and your don'ts. I'm not going to entertain or engage Uncle so and so, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving cousin so and so any money, right?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not, yes, I'm not going to argue with anyone. I'm not going to ask anyone's political views, social views, because I
Yes.
don't care. And that's
Relationship
also, that's
status.
exactly relationship status. We don't have to talk about that. I just want to come in, say hello, and say goodbye without getting into conflict. And so
Okay.
setting those boundaries. I usually will give myself about a good 3 hours at a certain time of day when there's less traffic. So I'll get phone calls and text messages saying, "Oh, we missed you. We came by at so and so." I know why you missed me, because it was intentional. And if they're watching
Period.
this, they're probably
And you gonna miss me again. Okay.
you're gonna miss me again.
Listen,
Yes.
I tell people all the time, if my rent ain't paid, ain't nothing happening over here. So, and Christmas, folks, listen, don't
Yeah.
get into the trap. Christmas is 5 days before that rent is due. So make sure y'all have y'all rent money together.
Yes. Yes.
Don't go
Definitely.
broke trying to buy everything out the store for
Yeah.
everybody, especially
No.
these kids. Because I'm telling you, my 2 children will play with a box before they play with the toy that's in the
They
box.
sure will. They sure
Okay?
will. Yes,
And then
they
they'll be
definitely
fighting over
will.
the box instead of all the toys that they got. That's besides the point. But I love what you said
Yeah.
about disengaging and also setting
Yes.
boundaries, because I believe wholeheartedly that boundaries teach people how to treat us. And
Oh,
if you are in
definitely.
an experience that is unhealthy to you emotionally, and you are dealing with people who are harmful to you emotionally, it is your responsibility to teach them how to treat you through the boundaries you set. Your auntie Tisha is not gonna be able to come to you this year and say, "Oh, girl, you gaining weight, you looking fat,
Exactly.
what you eating?" You got to set a boundary with Auntie Tisha. You have to set a boundary with how she's able to interact with you. Uncle James ain't gonna be come in and give me a kiss, and you know Uncle James is the creepy uncle, and you don't want to kiss him no way because of past traumas and past abuse and past harm. No, it's your responsibility to set that boundary and honestly disengage if it really is emotionally tasking to you to interact with folks. It's okay to say no, y'all. And no is a full sentence. You don't have to give no explanation behind the no. No, period.
Exactly. Exactly.
And like you
Yeah.
said, Pia, set parameters. Like my mother called me the other day, literally yesterday, and was like, oh, "Okay, so you on the menu for making the macaroni and cheese?" I said, "What menu and what cheese?" I said, "Wait, what dinner? Oh, Aunt Linda already got you on the menu, girl. You know you expected to make the macaroni and cheese." Now, I'm willing to do so because I love them and I'm going to go over there anyway. But I was like, hold up. I told her straight up, I said, "Well, you know, y'all can't obligate me to do that." I said, "What if I wasn't coming over there? Then y'all gonna be counting on some macaroni and cheese that y'all never gonna see." I said, "Next time,
Yeah. What if
ask
I didn't have the money to buy
hello."
the cheese? You know how expensive it is to make a big pan of macaroni and cheese?
Yes. For all
Yes.
those hungry so and so's. Yes.
Exactly.
Especially if
Exactly.
your mac and cheese is busting. Now, if you're doing,
Yes.
little Kraft
Yes.
mac and cheese, that's a
Well,
little different. But no judgment. No judgment here.
yes.
But yeah, I was like, how you just gonna obligate me? I said, no. I said, Aunt Linda and you can ask me if I can
That's
make
right.
macaroni and cheese.
That's
And
right.
if I'm able to, I will do so. And she was like, "Oh, girl, you know you was gonna make it." No. Please don't expect. And that's me setting a boundary with my mother who I love and my aunt who I love. And of course I'm gonna make it because I want to, but not because you
Not because
obligated.
you feel obligated to make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
Just
because you
like,
obligated.
yes, I'm going to show up at family member's house because I want to,
That's
not
it.
because I feel obligated to, not because I feel guilted into it, right? Not because this is a tradition, because all traditions aren't healthy traditions, right? We
That's
need
true.
to remember that. We need to really honor ourselves and understand that just because something has been going on doesn't mean that it needs to continue to go.
I love that point about honoring ourselves. A lot of people hate the word selfish, and I don't necessarily think selfish is a
Yes.
bad thing.
No, not
But
at
I
all.
I always reframe it and I say self-honoring choices.
Yeah.
What are the choices that you're making that dishonor you, that you know are
Mm.
going to leave you emotionally tired, are going to leave you emotionally scarred, are going to leave you feeling frustrated or angry or resentful that you even agreed to do it. Why even do it? If you know that it is going against what's your best interest, then don't do it. And that includes how you interact with family and friends over the holidays. Honor yourself in this season. If you know you ain't got money to be in the gift exchange at work, tell them I'm not participating.
Exactly.
If you know you ain't got money to take that family trip that they've been pressuring you to take, tell them I'm going to sit this one out. Y'all enjoy yourself. Because at the end of the day, the person that you're responsible for caring for is yourself. And you got to make choices that honor that. Even if it's simple choices. Like I said, I'm not wrapping no gifts. I'm not going to wrap no gifts this year. I have 2 2-year-olds. They don't even understand the concept of wrapping paper. It's more work than I want to do. I'm going to put them toys under that tree as is, and y'all have at it. And my mother kind of gave me the side eye because tradition is you sit up the night before and you wrap all the gifts. So she gave me the side eye, and she was like, well, okay. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not, no. And then the next day was like, you want me to pick up some wrapping paper for you? No, I'm not wrapping any gifts. And it's for my own well-being that I'm not sitting up the night before wrapping a bunch of paper that I'm going to have to pick up the next day anyway. Because you expect.
Touched on something, consistency, right? You told your mother no, then she came back the next day, asked you again, right? Most people would have felt the pressure to just say, well, okay, being that you're going that way to pick it up, all right, bring it, right? When we set boundaries, we need to be consistent, because if we allow people to push those boundaries, where they say a habitual boundary pusher, is that what Charlie Murphy said? Right?
Yes.
If we allow people to do that, then we're teaching people how to treat us. We're teaching people that I will say no today and yes tomorrow, or say no right now and yes an hour from now. So you have to be consistent.
Yes, good point. Good point, Pia. Be consistent in your boundaries. Uphold your boundaries.
Yes.
You are responsible to yourself to uphold your boundaries and teach people how to treat you, even with the small things. Even with what you might consider to be a petty thing that you set a boundary around. It's not petty if it's protecting your peace.
That's right.
So, what's the takeaways for the holiday, Pia? What are 3 things you want people to remember this holiday season?
Well, I want them to remember that you are not alone, right? Let people know what you need. Reach out to people in your circle, in your life. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, if you have any feelings surrounding the holidays that you feel like aren't beneficial or hurtful to you, right? Taking away that we have choices. We have choices in life. We can set boundaries, right? Though that's part of our choices. And when we set those boundaries, we have to be consistent with it, right? And also taking away some tips to help manage your grief. It's not going to go away, but you can help ease the pain in the moment, create new memories for your loved one that in time, right, you'll look up and you'll notice that instead of crying because you're grieving, you're crying because you're happy, right? You're thinking about a special moment with that individual that you've lost, and it has made you cry and smile at the same time. I do that with my grandmother all the time. I no longer grieve her. I'm able to celebrate her now. And those tears are part of my celebration.
Beautiful. Well, from our family, from the Transformation Counseling Service family to all of yours, we do hope that you have a joyous, safe, and wonderful holiday.
Yes.
We are here to connect with you. If you need support during the holidays, you can find us on social media, Instagram. Our Instagram is at Transformation Counseling SVCS. And our website is www.transformcounselingservices.com. And so if this season is a difficult one for you and you feel like you want to connect with one of our staff, one of our wonderful clinicians, myself, Pia, or any one of us, just holler at us, set up your free consultation, and we'll be there to support you.
Yes, we will.
All right, y'all. Until next time, make sure y'all are tuning in. Make sure y'all follow us. And that's it. Bye, y'all.